everybody, this is Super Robot Head, and today we have in front of you the Transformers the movie Studio Series 86 Bumblebee. We finally have a mainline Bumblebee that is not in a pack or a store exclusive. Isn't that something? Every Bumblebee that has been released during WFC has been released as a exclusive. I'm not going to look for my Origins Bumblebee because I did not know where it was. So you're not going to see it in the video. Please don't ask. I ain't going through all that pins today. And I don't need to make a 30-minute video out of a little tiny car. But anyway, the first mainline Bumblebee, A-level, meaning that he's going to be everywhere, and he is. And I would tell you to still get one because he is moving kind of fast. Amazon had a sale last week for him, 13% off, and it was like $21 with tax-free shipping. The thing was, it wasn't supposed to arrive until next week, and it came in today. Now, before we look at this car, we're going to look at the packaging. And the packaging is, of course, the standard Studio Series 86. We have a shot of Bumblebee on the left. Oh, well, the right side. Another shot of Bumblebee with his face on the left. And then, of course, on the back, we have a picture of him product shot. He is 23 steps to transform. Instructions are inside of the box. We'll see this later on at the end of the video. Let's start to look at the vehicle. Now, I do like this vehicle. I'm not going to lie. I like it. Now, I'll kind of say my gripes on why I don't like it. It's not quite what it's just not quite, but it still captures the Choro Q Penny Racer look. Basically, it's just a cute little bugger. You know what I'm saying? So I do like him, and he does roll. And I look at the gun back here as being like the little penny in the back, because I used to have penny racers when I was in like 4th grade or something like that. My own story on that. I had the Dukes of Hazzard once, but anyway, yeah, he rolls. And I know the surface is a little weird today, but hey, it is what it is. But yeah, he does look nice. Let's get a quick measurement so that way we can get that out of the way, then we can start to do comparisons. Now, he folds up very small, so that's something that is wild. And yeah, he is approximately let's take the gun off the back because that's adding dimensions to him, but he is around 3 inches in car mode, which is crazy compared to his other counterparts. Now, I don't have Origins Bumblebee. Not going to look for Origins Bumblebee. I know where it is. I just am not digging through all those bins because it's very messy right now because I had to go through another set of bins just to get to my Worlds Collide set to compare the other Bumblebee. And of course, now we know for a fact that all the other Bumblebees that have been released have been store exclusives. We have not gotten a mainline Bumblebee since, Jesus Christ. I mean, it's been a long time because how long is, War for Cybertron started? And then after War for Cybertron, we got to Legacy, all the other lines like Worlds, It's amazing how finally we got a regular Bumblebee. And he's an A-level, again, A-level. So that means you can find him everywhere. No exclusive, no questions asked, as it should be. But before we get comparisons with the other Bumblebee, we'll compare him with some other vehicles. Now, I got some mini bots. I got a Voyager in the name of Skywarp and a few others to kind of just be able to, I guess, I gotta tilt this camera, just be able to show size comparisons now that we have the actual, this more Choro Q look. Now, like I said, he does look like a Mazda. He looks like Bumblejumper, which is a Mazda 1500. Go look it up. We'll put the gun back on the back. All right, so let's do some comparisons with other vehicles. Let's get the bigger mini bot. We'll compare him with Brawn. Now, actually, they kind of look good together, but the height of Bumblebee is damn near the height of Brawn. And that kind of throws me off a bit because of the angular look. It does make him look taller. But you can see here, Brawn is still the bigger vehicle. Still one of my favorite G1 Transformers. Don't care what nobody says. I'm a big fan of Brawn. Now, after we look over with Brawn, we're going to bring out another vehicle, which is the Legacy United Hound, from the 5-pack. So now we got a bigger vehicle. So, I love that line that in Family Guy, Peter Griffin, bigger jaws. It just makes me laugh. And so you can see some differences here in size and everything. And, you get an idea of what we see when back in G1 And you want to know something? Everything was just way the heck off. So let's stop being all, what they call it, accurate here. Okay, this is weird. Okay, but now we're gonna show them off with an even bigger vehicle, even bigger jaws, and we got Skywarp. What? Wait, Skywarp is big, boy. Look at that. Look at that dude, man. Because you know in episode 2, Skywarp and Thundercracker kind of hit him in Sparkplug. But as you can see here, Bumblebee still reigns. Bumblebee still rules. To get a quick shot of that, let's make sure we see everything. So you can see him in correlation to the different sizes. This is how he looks. So we're going to go ahead and continue on. And we're going to pause for the cause. And we'll be back in 2 and 2. All right, we're back by YouTube Magic. And now we have all of the modern style Bumblebees that turn into Earth style vehicles. That's right, because again, somebody's going to say, we have Origin. So I'm telling you that now, I'm not getting him. We have them all here lined up. Now we have varying degrees of yellow. Let's start with the elephant in the room. This is the World Collide Bumblebee, which is basically a repaint of Cliffjumper. And he has a lot of people say they like this yellow on him. And I kind of agree. I kind of looked at him as a more meaner, leaner, gruff Bumblebee with the design and everything. And kind of looks like when he was leader of the Autobots at one point. Now, you know, all the Bumblebees come with the cannon. Now, if you got the Centurion weapon pack, and you can get the original gun that goes to Bumblebee. And actually, it looks very similar to that. Unfortunately, you can't store it on the Netflix Walmart Bumblebee. So this is the Target Worlds Collide Bumblebee. This is actually one of my favorites. Very hard to find. Will the price drop on him? I don't know. I really haven't done any research because I'm really trying to hurry up and do this review so I can clean up in here. But he was my favorite. And if you compare the two right here, of course, you know, he's the toon look. He's more kind of a realistic look. You know, and the shades of yellow are very different. And again, he's longer, but he's like shorter and he's taller here. So you can see how that works. So let's say, for example, here, this Bumblebee for a lot of people was actually what they were using to kind of resemble him because, you know, of course, he's more of the canary yellow. Now, we're going to go over here to the Netflix Bee. And we're going to talk about vehicle mode first. Now, this is a real world Volkswagen Beetle. Even the wheels have the VW bug on it. I'm not going to lie to you. I still think this is better. You know what I'm saying? I had a commenter say that this is superior. We'll get to that in robot mode, but this thing right here still is my favorite. I mean, the fact that this is, you know, this mold, but with these parts, this is like peak remolding to get the, and I mean, they really did a good job. It looks exactly like the Volkswagen Beetle. And, you know, I really wish they could have gotten more of a curvature here and here to give him more of the old school, you know, look, but they couldn't. And the only thing that hurts this is the color. And unfortunately, I did have an issue with one of my stickers and I had to take them off and it pulled off the paint. So yeah, this kind of got the some issues as well. And, you know, I kind of wanted to replace them, but when I put this Autobot symbol on, it kind of covered up a few things, but still, I'm not going to try to go out and get him. This thing always looked good to me. I mean, I'm sorry. It is what it is. But I'm not hating on the Bumblebee at all. I just think that this one looks better. That's just my opinion. That's it. You may have a different opinion. We'll leave it at that. Now we're going to go ahead and pause for the cause once more so we can get everybody in robot mode. And of course, we'll be back in 2 and 2. All right, we're back by YouTube Magic, and we have the Studio Series 86 Bumblebee in his robot mode. And we're going to go over articulation right now. And first things first, he has all of the basic articulation. Though the waist does feel a little loosey-goosey here, and I may have to do that. Not loose in a bad way like it's loose, it just has that feeling of looseness. The arm does the 360, goes out to here. Has an interesting elbow, but it's partly due to the transformation, so you can actually lock it. The fists do swivel for a very small figure, but the other Bumblebees did that. Yes, it does that. And the head is on a ball joint, and it's decent. The feet, you know, they do this, and he's got big, like, feet there. And then of course they go back to here. He can do the Jean-Claude Van Damme with ease, standing up correctly. And we'll do a height, and then after that we're going to do some comparisons, and then we'll go ahead and do the final thoughts on how I feel about this Bumblebee. Now, I will admit, he is decent. I'm sorry, he's decent. He does capture the essence of G1 more than the other ones. Definitely more than the other ones. And I'm glad we got the black paint, because technically we didn't really have blue paint. I'm kind of glad they made it black. It just is what it is. He's a Bumblebee. Black and yellow. Get it? Let's look at the head sculpt real quick, so we can get a close-up of that. And you can see there, he is pretty cool, this head sculpt. I do like the head sculpt of this Bumblebee. Of all of the ones that we've gotten, this one by far is the best. So hands down, the best. And even though he kind of looks fat, he's not really that fat. So before we compare him with the other Bumblebees, let's get his gun back in his hand. Let's compare him with some of the robots in, the most recent lines. And next we'll start with another mini bot who should be a little bigger than him. And that's Brawn. Feeling tough today? I love Brawn. So here's Brawn. You can see we didn't do the measurement. Let's get the measurement in right now. In the robot mode, he is about, they said 4.5 inches. I don't know about that. He more like about 4 inches, a little under 4 inches. He's tiny. He's right a little under 4 inches. Let's keep that in mind. Brawn is much bigger, and Brawn should be, because Brawn is a bigger, tougher bot, mini bot. And after that, we're going to show him off with another Autobot, which is Hound. Where's Hound? I mean, I'm sorry. I hate the fact that this Hound had to come in a 5-pack, because I like this Hound. I think that Hound is superior. Not to Siege, I'm just saying, so far, Hasbro really did a good job with this G1 Hound. Back to the video. So we see the sizes here. Of course, he is the smallest. And then, of course, we're going to bring in a Voyager, which is going to be Skywarp, because I just wanted to show them off with like the Seekers, because they kind of used to bully them and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? They were bullies. And of course, when the man shows up, until we get the Studio Series 86 version, we're going to show off none other than the Netflix version of Optimus Prime. And as you can see there, when we get the newer version of Optimus Prime, man, he's going to be even look like a baby. You know what I'm saying? But here is a group shot. And let's just stare at this group shot for a few moments here, because I kind of like it to show off his size in comparison to other robots who would be larger. Now we're going to do the comparisons with the Bumblebee, and we'll be back, of course, in 2 and 2. All right, we're back by YouTube Magic, and we have 3 little Bumblebees standing in a row. Now, which Bumblebee should you get? Now, we're going to start off, of course, comparing it with the Worlds Collide Bumblebee, which is a Target exclusive. Right now, I just checked the prices in between the videos, and he's going now for 40. This guy's going for 40. This guy is going for lower. So even if you decide not to get Studio Series, you have a chance to get the other two, and we'll talk about that as well. So first things first, we're going to show off how they look together. So he comes with the green version of the Cliffjumper cannon. He doesn't come with a regular weapon. Now, he was the closest in color and even head sculpt to the original Bumblebee. I don't like the head sculpt of the Origins version. It's way too fat and wide. But as you can see here, they're very similar. And I did do a comparison. But again, I mean, if you look at it, they're almost, not to say identical, it's the chest. Like, his chest is flatter. It's more of a leaner. He's more kind of, fat boy. He's got longer feet. He's got shorter feet. But the transformation of him, of the Netflix and the Worlds Collide Bumblebee, is almost as similar as this, except it just transforms in reverse as far as the top of the car. This is the front hood of the car, where the front hood of the car is below. But even the wheels, they hang down. The wheels here fold up. That is crazy how much they... And I do like the feet, how they don't have the wheels, but this is actually animation accurate. But the color was what a lot of people went for this Bumblebee for. And if you get this Bumblebee, because of the leaner look, you can make him more of like the leader, because you could put the stickers on him, I think, to make him look like the IDW version when he was like leader of the Autobots. And that's pretty cool. And then next, we're going to show off the Netflix Bumblebee. And again, like I said, he has the front hood of the car at the top of his chest, while he has it at the bottom, which is, again, correct. But I have to admit, with the Bumblebee, the Netflix Bumblebee, he's a little of like, because of the molding, he looks a little more fatter. And thus, he may not be as slim as the, let's get them all in line. I wish I had a turntable, but I don't. I got to use my hands. Sorry. He is a little bit fatter than the Worlds Collide, which always gave him that look. And I always did respect this Bumblebee. I'm sorry. Even though he had the, real world orange, I think that burnt orange look, I think that looked good. But we need that canary yellow. And again, and even their guns are similar. If you have the not the World Collide set, but the Centurion set, then of course that the guns here are very similar. So let's take a look at that. Yes, they are very similar, except, one's molded differently, and this one, it's molded differently, but you can see that. So we're going to put the guns back on. Now, before we go, talking about bees, if you don't like this Bumblebee, the price of these Bumblebees have come down for now. And that's a good thing. But I think later on, it's going to go back up, because what's going to happen is people are going to sleep on Bumblebee. Oh, well, he's A level and I can't find him. He's starting to sell out. So just keep that in mind before you, jump the gun. But now, because of the presence of him, and he's the cheapest and the newest, this brings down the price of these two, and thus gives you options if you don't want this one. And I think so yeah, this is a good buy, but I know some people don't like the look. Now, as far as transformation and engineering, both molds, because like I said, they are the same. Both molds have similar engineering. The engineering is nice, but it's not something that blows it out the water. It's not like, oh my God, I get this Bumblebee and he's going to do flips and tricks. No, the tricks are nice. It's an easy transformation, but it's fun and it gives him the correct look. And that's all we want. So we're going to be back in 2 and 2 to go off our bonus. And then after that, we're going to do the final thoughts. I just had to show this off because we know we're going to get Cliffjumper next. Now, this little full spoiler for the chest came from JRC. He made 2 versions. One that kind of matched the Buzzworthy Bumblebee 86 Cliffjumper, and the other one that matches the Earthrise one. Of course, when you put the spoiler there, it does give him the, spoiler look. But of course, because the chest flips upside down, this piece comes right out. Get it? Got it? Good. So we know Cliffjumper is next. Stay tuned, everyone, because he will be coming down the pike. And let's bring them in a little closer. I want to get a better group shot of these two. Yeah, they look good together. And now, of course, we're gonna. Wait a minute, I gotta get them right. And of course, we're gonna show off him with the backdrop of Netflix Bumblebee. Studio Series 86 Bumblebee, and that'll be the final thoughts. And we'll be back in another 2 and 2. All right, and now we have Bumblebee with his backdrop. I believe this is inside of Unicron. Interesting backdrop. I thought they would use the other one where he's on the moon base with Spike, because this ain't on the moon base with Spike. Well, it could be. I don't know. I ain't really doing no research. I don't really care about these things, so please don't come in here with that nonsense. But let me just say, it's a nice Bumblebee. It's one you can go to the store and buy right now. If you see him on the shelf and you need a Bumblebee, this one is the one to get. Now, are you on the fence because you may like the Netflix version? Well, guess what? You're in good luck, because the Netflix version is not going for a very high price anymore. It has come down. So if you're looking for the Netflix Bumblebee, hey, go for it, because this caused it to come down, which is a good thing. Like I said, it gives collectors options. And of course, if you want the Worlds Collide Bumblebee by himself, he's actually cheaper, and if not the same price as him. So if you're looking for different versions of a Bumblebee, you have them now. And it's amazing how that happened because of the Studio Series 86 version. Now, how do I feel about him? I like him. I just wish he was not as angular. I don't know if you remember the Pretender Bumblebee, how he was. I don't want to say that, but I still want that rounded shape. Like when you get here, all these corners are angular. It just gives it, and it's kind of jarring because when you look at the feet, they're trying to be like a Volkswagen Beetle. Sometimes, man, you gotta pay the dues, Hasbro, man. Cop trying to be so cheap. But other than that, though, probably a third party, if they get their hands on this, reverse engineer, they're probably gonna do something where they may do some remolding. I think it's gonna happen. Because like I said before, he's not a Volkswagen, he's Bumblejumper. He's basically a Mazda. He's basically a Mazda 1500 with the front of a Volkswagen. End of discussion. Do I like him? Hell yeah. Is he going on the shelf? Hell yeah. Why? Because there's probably more than likely going to be a Cliffjumper with the correct mold, and he'll have like the spoiler front. And the thing is that there's these little things on the feet. You can actually fold these down and make him a little bit shorter. It actually gives him like a little height. Because he is the smallest, even smaller than Cliffjumper, but people like to debate that. But nah, Cliffjumper's a little shorter. A little taller. He is. Hey, look at the animation. They really weren't the same size, but the Sunbow scale says they are. I don't really care how you feel about that. That's just what I know. And a lot of other people know it too. So overall, great figure. Does what it's supposed to do. Available right now. As close to a G1 Bumblebee as we can get. Simple. And that's what we want. Cute little guy. So what are your thoughts? Leave them down in the comments below. This is Super Robot Ed bringing more news reviews. Till then, we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.